Suck it up and pack it in. Time for the show, and it begins in 3, 2, 1.
Well, here I am again over here in Weatherford all alone on Thanksgiving and everything. Ain't got nobody to share Thanksgiving with. All by myself and my 3 dogs. Hello, women, come see me. Bye.
Dolomite, 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 Dolomite.
The Morning Stream, the show that lives among the beasts and eats grass.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to TMS. It is the morning stream for Thursday, December 19th, 2019. We are 6 days away from Christmas Day, that is. And Brian Ibbett is back after a rough couple of days. How you feeling?
I mean, technically, we're both back, right? Because
we missed
it's not
yesterday.
like you had a TMS without me, where it's like, oh, Brian's gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, we're both gone.
Yeah, we were both gone yesterday. We were gone Monday. Just think of it as like, you know what? A little. Everybody takes a little time off around the holidays. Brian was forced into it because of illness.
I know, exactly. It's like, no, if I'm going to take some time off, I want it to be time where I can go and do fun stuff, not lay on the couch and go,
that's
for
no
8
fun.
hours.
That's no fun, dude. No fun at all.
It sucks.
I do like that you did the right thing as a true Star Wars fan, though. You tried to watch the previous 2 films to get ready for your third one there, which happens tonight, right? Tonight's the big night.
Because, tonight's the big night. Yeah. Because you got to remember what happened, right? We're losing one per movie of our big 3.
That's right.
We lost Han in the first one. We lost Luke in the second one. And, I mean, pretty much.
One presumes
it'll be Leia in this one.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a spoiler to assume that, given that Carrie Fisher's death came before the, thing was finished or filmed. So.
But they have a few scenes. But I don't know if they've had the forethought to film a Princess Leia death scene, or will it be like, oh, she was on that spaceship right there, oh no, it just blew up,
I mean,
the humanity.
This is a really good question. I wonder what they'll do. Maybe they'll just reuse that that Rogue One CGI bunhead version of her. Maybe that's it.
Oh god, yeah, the animatrix Leia.
They do a lot of B-roll, so I'm hoping they have enough extra stuff to make something out of it. I guess we'll see.
Maybe they just have a shot of her like passed out in one of those folding chairs on set, and they'll just use that like, oh no, sorry, Princess, General Leia.
Sorry, Your Highness.
I'm curious as to. I mean, do you have any predictions for what's going to happen in this? We can't spoil it because neither of us have seen it.
Yeah, we don't know. We have no idea. This is pure speculation.
I predict a same-sex kiss is what I predict.
I heard that got cut. I heard that's not in there now.
It got cut from the Middle East showings.
Oh, that's what I read. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But in China, it was not censored.
All right. Well, I'm happy to hear that Poe and a Wookiee.
And Poe making out in a TIE fighter.
Yeah.
You can wear my jacket. Okay.
Finally.
Keep my jacket. It looks good on you.
Wow, this story's going to go places. Are they same species, though? That's my other question. Do we get like a...
that'd be interesting.
Because that'd be one way for them to kind of Star Trek it a little bit, Like, social commentary, yet thinly veiled behind alien tropes. They could do that.
Maybe it'll be BB-8 and R2-D2.
Oh, man. That's not good. That'd be bad. What do? Hook their little spinner things together? And
those little their little door openers.
Yeah. Little hacker tools that they use all the time. That seems almost dirty. Anyway, so bummer on the reviews, though. It's a pretty split
it is.
Bunch of stuff. 58% doesn't excite me too much, but I guess we'll see.
But it'll, it's closure. Listen, can't be any worse than Dark Phoenix, right?
That's a good point. Last Jedi, just as a comparison, enjoyed a 91% review score. Yeah. A 43% audience score. So that seemed pretty divided on reviewer and audience lines. A lot of people not happy with the last one. I liked it just fine. All right, let's put that out there. It's fine.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
it is what it is. It's the story they want to tell, and hopefully they tell it, and hopefully hopefully they tell it in a good way, in a pleasing, satisfactory way.
Force Awakens a little more even, 93, 86. But we are nowhere near the 90s on this third one, so we'll see.
Wow. You also think, there could be backlash. It's like, oh, big movie event, I hate it.
Yeah.
Automatically.
Yeah. But the reviewers you'd think would be
right.
They're not going to just base their reviews on
for sure.
Yeah, like they should. Like the stuff I'm reading is things like too fast, too harried, too hectic. Or here, in terms of pure narrative, it's satisfying. What it is, but it is very rarely inspired. But then some people say the storytelling is solid, and a time when CGI in some films is downright embarrassing. The special effects here are superb.
I'm hoping that we get more from Justin Theroux as the gambling codebreaker with the red flower on his lapel.
Oh, great! That'd be good because his story needs to be told.
It was underused, his story. I think we need more from him and figure out what's going on there.
Ask him about Jennifer Aniston. Weren't they together for a while? They were a thing, weren't
they? Yeah, for quite a while.
I don't think they are anymore. I think they're done.
No. They're done.
He disappeared inexplicably, and they spent 3 seasons trying to find out how half the people disappeared. Anyway, Star Wars: Rise of the Skywalker.
Leftover.
That's happening.
Just for people who aren't caught up.
Yeah, Leftovers. Everybody, HBO, catch it. Great show. Great shows. So you'll go tonight. I'll go Friday after the instance. We're heading up to a screening.
Oh, cool.
Up at the.
So you and I will both have seen it by the time we do TMS PM tomorrow.
Yes. So we can give a spoiler-free impressions-style review toward the end of the day, and what we think about Finn being the Emperor all along. All right.
Oh, wow.
I know. I've given away so much. I can't say anything else. Speaking of movies, I did something else that I've been promising I'd do for a long time, and I can't believe I finally did it. I watched Get Out.
Oh, good.
Yeah. This took me forever to get to, and I finally watched Get Out, and it's not exactly what I thought it was.
No.
I don't know what I thought. I went in there based on everyone else's opinions and thoughts and talk about the movie, and I thought Get Out was going to be, or maybe it was exactly what I thought it was going to be. I'm not sure. I have weird feelings about it.
It was either not at all what I thought it would be, or it's exactly what I thought it would be.
Yeah, maybe I thought it would be different than what I thought it would be, but it was exactly what I thought it would be. That's what it is.
I felt like it was taking one turn or one direction, and then kind of turn that direction, went completely in a different place. But overall, maybe it was something you were.
I don't know what it was. Expecting? It's hard to say, but that isn't a negative take. I really liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I thought it was rad, but it was rad in a way that's hard for me to pinpoint why I liked it so much. I think it's you know what? It did surprise me. It had way more comedy in it than I expected. Way more funnies.
Sure.
The TSA guy cracked me up a lot. Like I laughed at parts, and I thought I was going into this thing, it was going to just be pure sort of horror the entire time, and it wasn't. There was plenty of humor.
Total psychological thriller.
Yeah.
I would say Us is probably more like the horror elements. Not as good as Get Out, but still pretty good and still worth seeing.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
I think it is streaming right now. You can stream Us.
That is correct. It's number on justwatch.com. It's number 1 on their popular list. So.
Oh, wow. Dice Tomato does not like Us. He says Us is trash. Total trash.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
I disagree. I think Us is pretty good.
I feel like I need a longer form review from Dice Tomato than just total trash. Like, what's the problem with it? Makes 0 sense? All right. Well, I mean, aren't there a lot of questions about a lot of things? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. There is a suspending a belief that has to take place for a few things, but
Dice Tomato, make a YouTube channel, call it Dice Tomato's 2-word review, and then you review every movie using only 2 words. I like this idea. Yeah. Total trash, really good, kind of okay. People would flock to you. You'll make millions. Go for it. You'll be the hot new thing. This sucks. Yes, Dead Palmers. That's a good one.
that's the
I liked it though. It was good, and I just want to make I want to make a statement that's probably not that controversial, but I think what's his name? His name just
Jordan
left me.
Peele?
No, that plays his dad or plays her dad from West Wing. I can't think of his name.
Yes,
Bradley Whitford. Bradley Whitford.
Bradley Whitford.
He
Yes.
is so great, and I love him in everything. And it was a nice reminder that he was amazing on the last season of Handmaid's Tale, and should be in more things. And Bradley Whitford's awesome. Josh Lyman from that show. Yeah,
you will get no disagreement from me on that.
he's great, right? Just
He
good.
is great.
Good
Absolutely.
and
And boy, now I'm forgetting her name too.
Catherine.
Catherine Keener.
Keener.
Yes.
Yeah, she's great, dude.
She's great. Yeah.
Wasn't she the 40-year-old virgin girlfriend?
She was.
Yeah.
I think of her as the Bing John Malkovich.
Oh, right. Right. She was perfect for this role. I wanted to strangle the brother from the minute I saw him. And the minute I knew the well, I don't want to spoil anything, but the whatever, the girl. But it was something. It was something. I'll put it there. I'll put it that way. It's very, very good. All right.
Cool.
Let's also if there's a certain dental hygienist I met the other day.
Yes.
She was very nice, brand new at the dental office, I think, and first time I'd seen her. Anyway, she did a great job, great conversationalist, great job on my teeth, was careful around the little sensitive nervy joint down there that got in the rear. She was very nice, and I wanted to just say, because she said she was going to hear me soon, meaning she wanted to hear these podcasts that I'm doing, because we got talking about podcasts. If you're listening to this, hi, welcome. I hope it is up to any sort of listening standard you might have, and that you might enjoy it. She listens to a lot of parenting shows. She's a parent of some teenagers herself, and so,
So she's familiar with podcasts.
Oh, sure. Yeah, the podcast part's easy.
All right.
No problem there. She listens to tons of them. The question is whether or not TMS as a format will work for her or not. I don't know, but she seemed very excited about it, and trying to explain how. Now, consuming podcasts, no problem for her. Trying to explain how I do it seemed to be, well, this is true of a lot of people. It seems to be a little bit of a mystery. People are like, how do you do? How do you, what? How long does editing take? I'm like, editing? Pfft, who edits? I don't edit. Brian and I go straight to hard drive. Are you kidding me?
Live to tape is what we like to say.
Yeah. Anyway, if she's listening, I forgot her name because I'm dumb. She was very nice and said some very nice things. And,
I do love the way you wrote the headline though, or the top of show note, explaining what I do to the dental hygienist.
Not easy, never easy.
Like no. When you like, there's two ways you can read that.
Yeah.
Explaining what I do, explaining to the dental hygienist what I do, versus explaining what I do to the dental hygienist.
I didn't even think of it that way. You're
right.
right.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's what I do to the dental hygienist. Let me explain.
Yeah, got a Dr. Watley vibe to it.
That's right.
Okay, we have to do the court of public opinion. Last night,
I love it.
I did this a little bit on Core just because it came up, and so I tried that there. No one thinks I'm right, so
we now call this session to order. I yield to the gentleman from Salt Lake City.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
I yield 30 seconds to the gentleman from Salt Lake City.
I will now present my evidence that the other day I did in fact say nuclear, not nuclear.
All right, let's listen to the tape.
Because a bunch of people said I didn't. Now I'm not sure, because last night on Core everyone made me think I was losing my mind. But I swear I can hear myself saying it correctly here. So you tell me what you hear, all right? So here goes. 3, 2, 1. Nuclear plant. What did I say?
Yeah, you totally say nuclear.
Do I say nuclear or nuclear?
Play one more time.
Nuclear plant.
Nuclear
plant.
You totally say nuclear.
Nuclear
plant. Oh my god. Do you have a slow downer?
I can. Let's see.
Yes, do the slow downer like we use on sausage.
Oh, wait, I have to pause the show to do it. That's okay. I can do that.
Oh,
Hold
okay.
on. Let me find it here. So, okay, here it is. All right, so hang on, people at home. We're going to make a quick adjustment. All right, so let's bring this over. Nuclear plant. Oh, geez. Okay, slow down there. Nuclear plant. All right, now we're going to draw this way out. So let's go. How do I do this? I forget. Where's my pitch? Not pitch.
Tempo.
Effect. Silence. Reverse. Generate. Speech tone. Modulation. Special reverb. Oh, time and pitch. Here we go. Manual pitch correction. Here we go. Stretch and pitch. Here we go. I'm going to make this happen. Nuclear plant. Wait, that's not it. Okay. Okay, that didn't work. Hold on. Hang on, everybody. This is worth it. It's pitch shifter. Let's try this. Oh, yeah, this is it. Okay, so I think I pull down here. We hit play.
Nuclear plant.
No. That's not it.
We represent the nuclear plant, the nuclear plant.
That's definitely not it.
I can't even say it wrong when I tried to.
I know. It's because you were raised in a house where no one said it wrong, and I wasn't. Nuclear plant. Okay, why isn't it stretching it out? It's not doing it. Hold on. Nuclear plant. Oh, that's...
There we go. We're getting there.
Nuclear plant.
Oh, jeez. No.
No, that's just changing the pitch.
That's not right at all, is it? Hold on. Oh, my Lord. Nuclear plant. I can't figure it out. All right, it doesn't matter. The point is that, let me go back to the thing. Let me get the thing going again. Okay, we're back. We're back.
You said nuclear.
Okay, you know what? I'll concede it. I thought I said it so fast it was hard. Nuclear plant to tell, but you're right. You're right, I did.
You say kill. You say kill in there.
Here's the thing. Okay, and I mean, you know how people say, I don't know who, I'm trying to think of a good example, but you'll hear like, somebody will say, somebody who's really well-spoken will say, yeah, it took me like 10 years to stop having the accent I was born with or whatever that I was raised with. It's kind of like that. In my house, my dad said nuclear.
Sure.
And that's all we ever heard. So growing up in there, when you would ever have an opportunity to say the word, you would say that, and then eventually people would correct you, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is really hard to correct. So I thought I had it cleared out because I can say nuclear, no problem. Nuclear. Sure. I can say it. It's coming out of my mouth. But once in a while, nuclear plant, it comes out wrong.
Yeah. No, it's, you know what? It totally makes sense. And it's totally a natural thing. I think there are people I know who say whenever when they mean when.
Oh.
Like, you know, back whenever I was a college student.
Oh, right. I do that, I think, too, a little bit.
Yeah.
Whenever I go to, I do that. So
and
whenever
Rainbow
I go,
Bright says I say rough instead of roof. Like, you mean roof? Rough? What are you talking about? Like, for which word?
Wait, say there's a
hole in the roof. Now I'm thinking about it. Roof. I say roof.
Roof. I say roof.
Yeah, it's up on the roof.
I think I say roof.
No, up on the roof.
Roof.
Up on the roof.
Roof.
If I'm talking about the song, I say up on the roof.
Right. Something on the rooftop. I say
I would
roof.
say the one that people always call me out on is horror, like horror movie.
Horror movie. Yeah, you say horror.
Yeah.
Brian Dunaway says horror. Horror movie.
Oh, hi. It's a horror movie.
Yeah. I say both.
Oh, yeah. And
winked. These are all, again, things that I try to shake. Part of my childhood. They're hard to get rid of.
Sure.
But
as Peter Cetera once said, it's a hard habit to break.
People always say, how come Kim doesn't have her Southern accent? She was raised in Mississippi, lived there till she was 19. What changed? And it's easy, actually. She got made so much fun of her first year in college, her first semester, by her roommates for her accent, for her Southern accent, when she went to freaking Idaho, of all places, for school. That it upset her, so she lost her accent on purpose. Like, she worked to get rid of it, and now she can't bring it back unless she's super pissed. I hear it when she's pissed, but other than that, I don't ever hear it.
That's when it comes out. I love it.
Yeah,
that's the best.
She's like, you'll hear her go, "Who left this dish out on the table?" Like, you can kind of hear it come out, just a little.
I tell you about the time.
Yeah, just a little bit. It squeezes out like a fuzzy bumper barbershop. Yep.
Apparently somebody De Growly Bear says orange. Do I not say orange correctly?
You say orange.
Orange. I say orange.
You say
orange.
orange. Yeah.
Is that what they're saying?
Yeah.
I should say orange.
Yeah, but once again, see, this is just proof that who cares? Like, we're all gonna say stuff weird. It's fine. It's not a problem.
How do you pronounce the soft drink that both Barks and A&W are known for?
Oh, root beer. Root.
Okay, you say root beer. Yeah, that's what I say. Root beer.
Some people say
Crazy
beer.
Neighbor says root beer.
Yeah, root beer. My dad used to say root beer.
Yeah.
What do you say when you say? What was it you used to say? Shoot, I can't remember now. There's one he would always get wrong. So my dad would say toilet instead of toilet. So it was like Tor, T-O-R.
I definitely don't say toilet or
Yeah.
turlet or anything like that.
Me neither.
Oyster salad or, oysters. Okay, get some fried oysters.
Yeah, it's oysters, toilet, not ersters, torlet.
Robot, not robot.
No robot. My dad would say robot. I don't say robot, though. I say robot. I say robot ironically sometimes, just to be dorky. And Veronica said robot that one time, and we make fun of her about it. Yeah, there are a few words like that. But look.
Oh, pleasure. Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, yeah, my dad says pleasure. It'll be my pleasure, he says. Measure. He'd say measure. You need to measure that. How long is it? I don't know. We'll measure it then. Okay, Dad. I'll measure it.
Oh, yeah, caramel and caramel.
I think caramel was always the way I'd say it. Caramel.
If I think about it, I say caramel.
I think I go. Someone says,
do
you want an apple? I don't know. They have caramel apples? That's how I'd say it. Caramel.
Caramel?
Yeah.
Caramel.
Yeah.
Caramel.
Caramel's probably more correct. Caramel, I think, is like shortening it.
Carmel is a city in California.
Yeah. They say, isn't that the Utah accent? No, it's not. The Utah accent's like this, like an impression one. You want to hear a Utah accent, Brian? Have you ever heard one? Here's one right here.
No, play it for me. I'm going to turn off my mic because I'm going to blow my nose.
It's so great to be here with you today, and I'm really enjoying the time that we've spent together. That's how Utah people talk. Old people in Utah. It's very much like this. And if you'll just bring that Jell-O salad to the party, that would be just wonderful.
It feels like anywhere anywhere old people congregate.
Yeah, maybe. There's a bit of that for sure.
Oh, you just have been so lovely.
Yeah, it's a bit of that. But there's a twinge to it. It's hard to explain. Once in a while, you hear like an old like a radio documentary where they're talking to somebody in Fillmore or something, and you'll just be like, "Oh my gosh, freaking Utah come leaking all over the place." Anyway, yeah, the funeral potatoes. Darth Marquina or Darth Marcus knows. Funeral potatoes here. They're the ubiquity food of Utah. Everyone's got funeral potatoes going all the time, and there are hardly any funerals going on. It's crazy. Anyway,
should I save you the email from Free Hotel Room and say ubiquitous and not ubiquity?
What did I say? Ubiquity?
Yeah.
I meant ubiquitous. Well, you could say there's a lot of ubiquity in this statement, or you couldn't you? Isn't ubiquity a form of...
That's a good question.
Ubiquity.
It seems like it should be. If there's a ubiquitous, there should be a ubiquity, right?
Ubiquity. Here, yeah, there's one. Here, Merriam Dictionary says it's a noun. Whoops, hold on. Here we go.
The fact of appearing
Ubiquity.
everywhere or being very common.
Yeah.
Which is the the noun version of ubiquitous, which would be the adjective.
Correct.
Ubiquity.
Listen to that guy.
Ubiquity.
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 I like that guy a lot.
Ubiquity.
He should do all the reads. Ooh, the word of the day is haggard.
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 Okay. He was the big
As in
hairy
Merle?
guy. He's the big furry guy that helped Harry Potter get an owl or something.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Oh, thanks, Haggard.
Haggard.
Thank you, Haggard.
Anyway, that's good stuff. Real quick, final note here this morning.
Yeah.
Durango. Where is this? Where's
Colorado.
Oh, this is your home. No wonder this is a story.
This is the southwest corner of our lovely state.
Nice. Colorado connection. Oh, by the way, you know Snubs? She does stuff with Tom, DTNS.
Oh, yeah.
She's moving out there soon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
She's super
To
nice.
Denver or?
Just outside Denver, it was a place called... Oh, shoot. She just said it yesterday. I was going to tell you, so I was going to ask you where it was.
Lakewood, Lone Tree,
No.
Wheat Ridge, Aurora.
No. It's like it's south of Castle Rock. It's some other kind of rock.
Oh, Parker. Oh. South of Castle Rock.
Maybe it's not south. It may not be south. I'm not sure on the direction, but it's near
Maybe
Castle
Colorado
Rock.
Springs is south of Castle Rock. Pueblo is south of Castle Rock.
Something rock. So it sounds like knockoff Stephen King, the name of it, because you got Castle Rock and then you got knockoff name.
Layden Rock.
No. Damn it. It's not Boulder. I don't mean literal rock with a different name. I mean like something rock. It sounded very nice though, and yes, Fraggle Rock. The chat is not helping.
Fraggle Rock. Red Rock is a amphitheater. It's not a city. There's no town in Colorado called Red Rock.
No, I can't think of what it is. Well, anyway.
All right.
Monument Rock, no. I don't remember. But it's sounded cool, and she was excited, and
Cool.
I don't know why I'm telling you that, but Sharon is coming your direction. With her
Nice.
husband. Yeah,
Cool.
her husband and her 2 cats. All right. Well, anyway, Durango, Colorado was named Hallmark Movie Town by the Washington Post. Hey.
Oh, I bet you there's a gazebo in the center of town with Christmas lights and a ice skating rink nearby.
Might be. Hallmark movies this time of year, dripping with charming communities, love, and a hefty helping of Yuletide joy. No matter what world-weary or how practical you are, you can't deny that you've at least once wished that such a place existed in real life. Well, now it does. It's right there in Centennial State of Colorado. Washington Post recently put out a list of Hallmark movie towns across the nation. Your very own Durango made the top of the list. How often do you make it to Durango?
Like, I've been there once in my life. It's not easy to get to. You have to be specifically going to Durango. It's not like, Durango's on the way to anywhere else.
Yeah.
It's southwest corner of the state, and it's 6 hours to get there from here. And it's there's I don't know how much there is to see there. I was a little kid last time I went there, the only time I went there. So
it's like me going to St. George. Sounds like it's far.
Yeah, but at least St. George is on the way to Vegas.
Right,
And you can stop in St. George and visit the world's best Taco Bell.
Yes,
and,
it's the only good Taco Bell that there is there for some reason. Don't know what's going on there, but yeah, this is great. You can go there and ski at the Purgatory Resort. That doesn't sound.
That's
fun.
right.
Purgatory, jeez.
Sure. You.
Yeah. Beautiful mountain drives, ranches, pine trees, miles of snowy peaks. A lady from New York who's trying to figure herself out when she meets a guy in plaid. And settles down in the town called Christmas Town. Yeah.
I believe she's an overworked ad executive. Is that right? I think,
yeah. Ad executive or an author she's got a little bit of writer's block. She needs to, get away from the city.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, that's the deal. Yeah, that sounds like a really nice place. Durango would be a place I would dig on. I like, the Park Cities and the Vales of the world.
The photos make it look beautiful, like a really cool little Christmas town. But I look at those photos and I say, yeah, you can get that from, a shorter drive down to Manitou Springs or down to, a dozen other towns that I could name that are a lot closer to get to than Durango. Mountain towns.
Somebody somebody's had a Post Malone sighting in a Walmart in Park City last week. Because he's got a house.
Really?
Yeah, he's got a house out there. One of his recent videos is like filmed there. But anyway, it's this big, beautiful, freaking palatial monster home out in the middle of the thing. Apparently, he really likes it up there. I don't blame him.
Cool.
But apparently, he's just like walking around a Walmart looking for, I don't know what you do if you're Post Malone in a Walmart. I have no idea. What are you looking for? Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse so you can hear your song again? I don't know.
Gonna buy socks and gonna buy shoes. Gonna buy...
I might need some toothpaste while I'm here. I wonder if my bodyguard called in my thing at the pharmacy.
Going to the checkout, gonna buy gum. That's all I know of that song, and really it's just because
there's a DVD bin with a bunch of old movies I'm going to pick up.
To the Spider-Verse. It's my own Post Malone connection there.
That's amazing. Anyway, so, yeah, Post Malone. Catch him out there in Park City if you're out there at the Walmart. All right. That's it for today's opening statements. We'll now move on to the portion of the trial where we do this. Where is it?
I yield my time back to the man from California.
Yes, the man from California. The show is all yours. Why can't I find the transition? Well, here it is. Okay, sorry, everybody. I'm losing it today.
Say, gang, here's some razzle-dazzle news to flash to Mom.
All right, we are going to do the news, and it's brought to you by...
Brought to you by Coverville. Sometime over the next couple days, we begin the countdown. That's right, the top 40 songs, top 40 cover songs from 2019. You can hear stuff like that great cover by those people who did that thing. No, I'm just kidding.
Whoa.
Trevor Horn released a great cover album this year. Jonathan Colton did a tribute to yacht rock called Some Guys this year. You'll probably hear something from that. The Debutantes, David Hasselhoff put out a new wave cover album where
Lord.
he covers freaking what's the one that I'm probably going to be including? Let's see. He covers Echo and the Bunnymen with A Flock of Seagulls.
Are you kidding me?
I wish I could say I was kidding.
That's
I wish.
amazing. Wow.
Yes.
All right. Wow.
So look for that. Morrissey released a cover album this year. There's so much stuff to pull from it. 2 or 3 doctors from Doctor Who guested on an album called BBC Children in Need. You'll hear something from that as well.
Wow. You really know how to find the weird bits. That's amazing.
There are a lot of weird bits to be found out there.
That's great. Let me ask you this about the Hasselhoff deal. Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, this is what I was going to ask. How come Jonathan Colton's never done a Christmas album? What's up with that?
Yeah, no kidding. That's a really good question.
He would be great, and it would sell, and it would be awesome. He should do that.
And it would be like his sense of humor kind of Christmas songs, not, covers of Winter Wonderland and stuff. It would be like
right. Maybe even a couple of originals, He could be creative and do that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It would be stuff like The Robot's Christmas or Who Put a Zombie Underneath the Tree or something like that.
Right. Right. Look, we're even giving him free ideas. Get on it, Jonathan.
That's right.
Colton.
Exactly.
Jonathan, it's your mother. All right.
Gaming Savant says that he has one with John Roderick.
No.
Really?
One song, though? Is that all? Or is that a whole album?
Christmas Time with Jonathan Colton, and it's
Oh.
called One Christmas at a Time.
Well, let's preview this.
There's a song called Christmas is Interesting.
Also-
Wikipedia Hanukkah.
Yeah, Christmas in Jail. That sounds fun. Let me hit a...
You at Christmas. Don't you worry, I'm doing fine.
All right. Sure. Let's
Their
That's
right
cool.
to live according to their ancestral customs and to continue to...
Huh.
All right. That must have been Wikipedia Hanukkah.
He says he can't stay because he's got a long way to go.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I take it all back. I guess he has an album.
We can't come up with anything, Scott, that hasn't already been done on the internet.
Yep. Just say 2 words together like llama porn, and you'll find it.
Don't Google llama porn.
Don't look it up. Avoid it. Carter, don't grin at me. Carter's working from home this week, and I'm getting grins from her over there.
Yeah, well, it's better than the side eye you probably should have gotten for that statement.
That's true. Her and I are probably going to stream some art later, so that'll be fun. To try to take advantage of this while she's at home. Yeah, she told me yesterday the minute she gets a games studio job offer somewhere up in Montreal or in the UK or something like that, she's out of here. Pop, bam, she's gone.
Awesome.
And as she should. That'd be a great opportunity, right? It'd be an amazing thing. Yes. But I would go into full dad withdrawal mode because she's like my weird muse around here. We get to bounce creativity off each other in a way that I don't get to do with a lot of other people. So that would really bum me out. But then she's like, "Oh, Dad, it's easier than ever. There's Skype and there's FaceTime." You didn't really do it like that. I'm kind of making that part up.
Is that how she sounds?
Is that
how your daughter sounds to you?
She doesn't sound like that at all. But
FaceTime, Skype.
I would love an excuse to go visit Montreal. That place is cool, man.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyway, hey, check this out. A New Jersey man in the news. New Jersey man.
Better than the old Jersey man.
I agree, dude. That guy with his polyps and his whatnot. New Jersey man arrested after exposing himself and then walking around the mall naked.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Hi, hot dog on a stick. I'm naked. A man was arrested by police after he was walking around this New Jersey mall naked and exposing himself to others. That's usually what happens when you're naked. You're sort of exposing yourself full time.
You're kind of fully exposed, yeah.
I agree. Police were called just after James Matura was revealing himself to shoppers at the Willowbrook Mall in Wayne, New Jersey, before 3 p.m. Saturday rather. According to the town's police department, officers were speaking with one of the complainants. They heard another woman screaming in the parking lot. They rushed over to the woman. She pointed at the 24-year-old Matura, however you say it, after he had exposed himself to her while her 12-year-old nephew was with her.
Oh.
Not good. Police arrested the North Caldwell man and charged him with 3 counts of lewdness.
Is that what it's supposed to look like?
Yeah, what is that?
And Ethel?
I love the word lewd. I've said that before on the show, but I just enjoy it. Lava tubes, lewd.
I like it when it's paired with lascivious. It's a good
lascivious and
good
lewd
pairing.
behavior. Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah. Lewd and lascivious.
What else would you say there? Those
The
are
new
your
cop drama
yeah.
coming to NBC this fall. Lewd and lascivious.
Wow. And lewd will always
There
be.
are a couple of cops who talk a mean game and don't wear a uniform.
CBS Friday night. Catch it. Anyway, it is now pending a court hearing. Good luck to him and his exposed wiener. Moving on to Lord of the Rings. Speaking of exposed wieners.
Lewd elves.
Lewd. By the way, I figure this is about the time my awesome hygienist has checked out. She's heard this naked New Jersey man story, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm good."
So now we can really get crass.
Yeah, now we can really go down to the PG-13 limit. Lord of the Rings, Amazon's new series. You know they're doing a Lord of the Rings series.
That's right.
They want to Game of Thrones this business and really hit it hard. They are looking to cast, quote, hairy people with lots of wrinkles as orcs. So
wow, not just hairy, but hairy.
Yeah, double hairy. Hairy times 2, hairy squared.
You're a wizard, Harry.
So I guess what I'm saying is this is like open casting. Like if you are a hairy person.
Hairy people with lots of wrinkles. Hairy people with lots of wrinkles.
Hairy hair. They say their R's a lot. REM does. You ever notice that?
They do.
Yeah. The other day I was listening to That's Me in the corner. Just they are that thing to death, man.
Well, it's right there in their name. REM.
Yeah, they really do put the R in REM. Anyway, if you're very hairy people and wrinkly, and also it says and lots of them to play orcs in the new show. The original trilogy of films, orcs were primarily foot soldiers in the Dark Lord's armies. Physically, they weren't. They were short in stature and humanoid in shape, with stretched and twisted skin. The casting call appeal to people under 5 feet or over 6'5". That's the two ranges. So you need to be. So I'm out. You're out.
Yep. Just barely under the cut.
But if you're under 5 feet, I'll talk to my Korean brother. He could do it.
There you go. Does he have a, quote, character face?
No.
Feels like it's a nice way of saying, are you funny looking?
Yeah, I think you're right. Because that's what they're looking for, right? Some twisted up looking gnarly face is what they want.
Yeah, we'd love to have you in our Hallmark movie, but you've got more of a character face.
It's like a PC way of saying you're ugly.
Right, exactly.
It says... so they're looking for character faces, and then, in quotes, hairy people of all ages and ethnicities should apply.
Great.
Again, with the two Harrys. Also sought are, quote, stocky, mean-looking bikers and circus performers who can juggle.
This is starting to sound like a Craigslist fetish ad.
A little bit.
Yes, stocky. Are you a stocky, mean-looking biker? Or are you a circus performer who can juggle? It's like, do you have a character face?
It's like one of those that shows up right before BlizzCon, and there's always like a weird Craigslist ad. Those freak me out. Those make me very uncomfortable. Looking for like-minded nerds coming to BlizzCon in November. Bring your thongs, or I don't know what they do, but it's weird. All right, here's another one that says the act concludes with a plea for people with hair. If you have natural red hair, white hair, or lots and lots of freckles. Wait, if you have natural red hair, white hair, or lots and lots of freckles. How is that an or? That should be. I guess it is an or.
Any of the above.
Yeah.
We can add hair to you, or if you have natural red hair but no freckles, we can add freckles. If you have lots and lots of freckles but no hair, we can add hair to you. But we can't do both.
Yeah.
It's one or the other.
It says, do you have a few wrinkles? Have you been out in the sunshine? Is your face a little ugh?
No, does it say that?
Yep.
Really?
UGEH.
Is your face a little ugh?
Yep. It did. It says.
Wow. Okay. They've dropped all pretense of the character face euphemism, and
yeah, they're not.
Do
holding
children run and scream in horror when you walk down the street?
Does your nightmare?
Do you have a face for radio?
Do you have a nightmarish visage that frightens the village children?
Are you Alex Jones?
I shouldn't have drank water right then. What was I thinking?
You
Alex Jones to me.
Let you do a spit take.
Another ad reads, they finish it out by saying, look like a leather handbag, or do you have a gazillion wrinkles? That would also qualify. Look, I mean, they really just keep going.
You look like a leather handbag.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't even think of somebody who looks like a leather handbag. Maybe
Robert Redford.
he looks like crepe paper. He looks like he's gonna just flake off if you rub his face too hard. That's what he looks like. But like Danny Trejo, I'd call him a leather handbag. You know what I mean? Just rough.
I wouldn't. Not to his face, I wouldn't.
No. My wife's had his tacos. He's got that taco joint in L.A. Last time she was there, she had tacos and they were very good. She said, "What's it called? I forgot what it's called.
Machete tacos.
Trejo's? Maybe it's just Trejo's.
Yeah, it's a good name for it.
I forget now. Anyway,
there's an El Jefe tacos and burritos place that we tried for the first time a few days ago.
How was it?
It was really, really good. I can't get past the fact that they put an apostrophe in both tacos and burritos.
Oh no! Why did they do that for? That's possessive.
In the big sign, like they have a big sign too. It's like somebody should have stopped them.
No, that's you need an editor for that.
Yeah, what are you doing?
I understand if you screw some menus up, you can reprint those, but when your sign's got it, I mean, that's as permanent as you get, man. What are you doing? And Genius says they had an extra one laying around. I get it. Sometimes you got those apostrophes. You got to do something with them.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what do we do with all these apostrophes? I know. We'll slip them into every vowel. Slip them after every vowel that we use in a
yeah, why not?
A sentence.
Tacos. That doesn't work. It's bad. All right, anyway. It says the lorry driver, Justin Smith, who lost his teeth. Oh, what's this about? That's not the story we're looking for.
No, I think it is. I think that is.
A lorry driver, Justin Smith, who lost his teeth in a surfing accident, told the Wall Street Journal, quote, "I've got more than missing teeth. I've got none. I'm short and I've got red hair." He's awaiting an audition callback. The TV series is estimated to cost...
in a surfing accident. Oh, man, that sounds painful.
It does. It's costing an estimated $1 billion, this series.
Wow.
And
wow.
Which is, I mean, what is Bezos has 300-something million? That's no big deal. Let him have $1 billion. We'll star Joseph Maui.
I think it's an L. Yeah.
Mawle. Anyway, who is playing the central villain, Markella Kavanaugh and Emma Horvath. I don't know who they play. They're not the central villains. Yeah, they're just people.
Yeah.
Will Poulter was recently forced to drop out of the show due to scheduling conflicts. It will be set during the second age of Middle-earth and will serve as a prequel to the events of both the film trilogy and the source novels. So this is, I mean, technically so is The Hobbit, so I would assume this is well before The Hobbit even? Because second age...
sure.
Second age is pre-Hobbit, right? Oh, help me out,
I
nerds.
never read the whatever book that was just basically an encyclopedia of Middle-earth.
Oh, the Simulacrum or the Philodendron. What is it? The Flocodocum? Whatever it is.
Yeah. Something like that.
I've never read that either. The Similarium.
Cimmerillion?
Cimmerillion. Simulacrum. The
philodendron.
Yeah, the decahedron. I know that one. It's good. Everyone read your decahedron so you can catch up on this important information. All right.
Read the sequel, the dodecahedron.
There you go. Oh, that was so good. Although the movie adaptation was kind of poop. It's not good. Too many sides. Get it?
A lot of sides, yeah.
Yeah, too many sides. That's pretty good. All right, we got an intruder story. This is scary if you don't like intruders, I guess.
Oh my God! How come no D&D podcast has used the phrase "there are 20 sides to every story"?
Oh my Lord! Maybe they have.
Yeah,
here. Let's look. Let's just do a search.
Yeah, somebody's used it, right?
Sides to every story. There's a whole.
Oh, good Lord! Yeah, look at all of the D&D T-shirts that say it. All right, never mind. I thought I was really clever.
It's apparently an entire streaming show called 20 Sides to Every Story. Plus a YouTube channel, plus a website.
Yeah, Twitch channel, 20 Sides to Every Story. Okay, never mind.
Yep. I guess.
All right.
I mean, but you just proved your earlier point that everything's done.
And no matter what you come up with, it's there's something on the internet.
Been done before. Except this cool show, they just keep stealing our name.
That's right.
Bastards.
I binged it, by the way, while I was... Should I save it? No, because I think I'm going to watch something else before the next recommendals. But I did binge the morning show.
Is it over now? Is that the season?
First season is over now. And
What'd you think?
critics pretty much have it right. Very slow start. First 3 episodes, get through them, but then it does pick up, and kind of the central story that it kind of focuses on is actually really compelling. I'd say there's the obvious comparison to the Newsroom.
Yeah.
HBO's The Newsroom.
Right.
I'd say you could also compare it very well to Sports Night.
Oh, Sports Night. I loved Sports Night so much.
Yeah, that was Aaron Sorkin though, right?
It was,
Night?
yeah. It was right before West Wing, I think. Sports Night was.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was such a great show.
Yeah.
This is good. Not quite to the level of Sports Night, but good.
Okay. What did you think
as
about
Zoe,
this? Oh, go ahead.
And as Zoe points out, it doesn't even compare to the real TMS.
Oh, thanks, Zoe. Real bacon doesn't compare to you either. What I was going to say though is, what did you think about the twist about episode 5 when Rachel and Joey get together? That seemed pretty.
Oh,
weird.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, they were on a break.
Yeah, that's true. They were on a break.
They were on a break.
Said it.
We're on a 35-year long break.
It was very Seinfeld. I was going to say.
It was. Yeah, I can't do a Ross. Can't do a Ross without doing Seinfeld.
Yeah, they're kind of. I don't know. They're in different universes, but there's some crossover there. It's weird.
That's right. Zach Badigan. You're thinking of Studio 60, which was Aaron Sorkin.
After.
It was
yeah,
really good.
that was at the same time that 30 Rock was on, and so a lot of people sort of confused them, even though they were nothing alike. And that was also very good. There's no such thing as a bad Sorkin TV show. They're all good.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. Name one that's bad. You can't.
You can't do it.
Yeah. Newsroom was his. He's great. And he's got some new Apple TV Plus thing coming. We don't know what it is though, do we?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Let's see. Sorkin, Apple TV Plus. Let's see what this is. Sorkin. He made some deal, signed with Apple. Oh, everybody okay, here we go. Aaron Sorkin. Oh, I know what it is. Maybe it's a movie he's doing, and it's coming straight to that or something. Oh, hell, I don't know. What do I know? I don't know anything. It's something like that. I forget. But I like Sorkin a lot. Aaron Sorkin is a
national treasure.
He's very good. You know what he needs to do? He needs to call up. He needs to get David Fincher on the phone. And he needs to call up dude from Nine Inch Nails. Can't think of his name.
Trent Reznor.
Say, guys. A
damn,
lot has happened in the 10 years since we made that Facebook movie. I think I should write a new script about everything that's happened since 2010, and let's make a new Facebook movie, and let's call it The Social Network 2. Electric Boogaloo, whatever you want to call it.
This time it's personal. And get in there, get a Jesse Eisenberg, cut his hair a little bit, get some get some business going with the current state of Facebook. That would be amazing. Or right, and even have like Snapchat and Instagram represented as like here's some other crap that's going on.
Pops and McCline says he needs,
Face Swap, the movie.
He says he needs to stick to fictional stories. I disagree. I think that The Social Network was a really, really amazing screenplay. There's a reason it won a bunch of awards. That thing was great. Social Network's great. It's very good.
It is really good. Oh, absolutely.
The music was insane in it. And by the way, the best part, not the best part, one of the best parts of the Watchmen series is Reznor's music is amazing in that show.
Yes, there will be a cover on the cover of the countdown from Reznor from Watchmen.
I hurt myself today. No, not that. Okay.
Not that one, and that's Johnny Cash.
Well, it's Johnny Cash doing a cover, yeah. Yes. Okay, what if it's what if it's I wanna put you like an animal?
No, what I'm saying is that it's Trent Reznor covering another artist.
Oh, okay. Is it
Is me to tell you?
Is it Luther Vandross's "You Got What I Need"? I don't know if that's a song.
Teddy Pendergrass.
Oh, Teddy Pendergrass. Sorry,
I think I might be wrong on that. No, it's Life on Mars.
Oh,
it's a small affair.
Wait a minute. He sings it because they did that version in the penultimate episode of Watchmen that was like the credits version. Is it like that but with words?
That's it.
Oh, so no words then. Because there's no lyrics in the one they played on the show.
Hold on a second. I thought that maybe they added words. Let's see.
because that would be cool to hear. I would love to hear a vocal version of that.
Yeah, no kidding.
It was really cool. It was so well done.
It was really good. Here it is.
Betty Tendergrass. I've never heard that before. You got me there,
Oh,
Chad.
no.
What?
Nope, it's an instrumental.
Oh, it is. Okay. So it is
It's
the
the
one from Watchmen,
version
though.
from-
It's the
it's the
Watchmen.
one from Watchmen.
It's
Yeah.
very cool. It's good.
It's excellent.
Yeah, yeah. I like it a lot. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, my sister Wendy, the therapist, the professional family and individual therapist known as Wendy Ann Dunford Johnson, is going to be on
She
the
is
show.
an individual therapist.
That's right. And I don't know what we're talking about because we were bouncing around ideas last night. We couldn't settle on one. Oh, she just sent it. Let's see. Here's the email. Oh, it's from a Canadian.
Oh.
Yeah, this is going to be good. So stick around for that. That's coming up right after this break with a song from Brian.
We're going to a band from the Northeast called The Weaklings, Weeklings. They have a brand new EP or LP called 3, which comes out January 17th. This is a band that's made up of guys from Styx, Bon Jovi, Dave Mason, Southside Johnny and the Asbury Jukes. It is some really, really good power pop. I'm really excited about it. And the video that they released for this song called I Want You Again takes place in Vegas right in front of the Plaza Theater, or Plaza Hotel, the site of the TMS Viva TMS Vegas.
Yes, much debauchery happened there.
Much debauchery. Anyway, The Weaklings with I Want You Again.
Here it is. We'll be right back.
Bake cookies for me, bitch.
Hello, this is the morning stream. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
All right, we're back, everybody. So I want to share this sound here. If you had to guess, what do you think that is?
It sounds like a cat in severe pain.
I agree. So on the tail end of it, let me skip ahead a little. You would be shocked what that is.
Oh, is that Van?
Nope. You'd be shocked what that is. Not a human. So
Is that a turtle having an orgasm?
No, but there have been lesser people who thought the same. I would have thought the same. It's actually a frog. It's a certain kind of frog that when it feels threatened, it does that, which basically sounds like a German air raid or something.
Oh my God, it's hilarious! Yeah.
And if you hear it at the very beginning, he just does this kind of like, listen to this. See, it's like a frog for a second, right? That right there, and then it stops.
It sounds like it sounds like about 4 different animals at different parts, like different stages.
I couldn't help but just love it when I saw it. So I captured it.
That's the turtle having an orgasm, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Darth Marcus says maybe that's what Baby Yoda would sound like.
Oh, maybe he's made some.
I think somebody needs to edit some Mandalorian video with that sound.
Why not?
Like when he's flipping a crate dragon over or something.
There you go. When he's fighting the Mudhorn.
The Mudhorn.
I don't. What was I going to say about that though? I forgot.
I don't know.
Oh, jeez, Louise. Scared the poop out of me. Wendy's here, everybody. You picked right up. Hi, how are you?
I mean, yeah, you called me.
Fancy. Look at you.
You
with the
called me.
fancy
What do you
pickup.
want?
What? Why?
Hey, did I don't want to spoil anything if anyone's in the room with you or anything, but did the dog happen? Did we?
No.
No?
No one's in the room with me.
Oh,
when
okay.
I'm doing this.
All
Like
right.
ever. That'd be weird.
Yeah.
No. Okay. So I got lots of great advice from lots of people. And so I have spent a lot of time looking, lots of websites people suggested. It's awesome. I fall in love with every dog. I've learned something about myself.
Uh-oh.
I should not be the one picking the dog. I kept thinking I should be the one. I'm the one who will be with it most. And, everyone goes off to college. It's me and my dog, right?
Yeah.
However, I'm going to pick a one-eyed bulldog.
Yeah.
That 9. Like, I am
Awesome.
not a good decision maker when it comes to this. I realize I'm just gonna, whatever I think is the cutest and needs me the most is not a great kid dog, probably.
Maybe, but they'll
Could
fall
be.
in
It could
love.
be.
They'll fall in love with your handicapped bulldog. They totally will.
Of course they would, but I also I got to step out a little. So what we're going to do, because we went to the Humane Society I just wanted to talk to someone who does this all day. And we walked through and hung out with some dogs, and it was just Adam and I.
Yeah.
And the guy, I mean, it's as if Adam called him beforehand and said, tell her all these things. Sort of like, you know what? We get a lot of dogs brought back to us a couple days after Christmas because people think it's so fun to bring home a dog on Christmas Day, and it's not a match for the family. So you've got to do a little effort. And I'm like, fine. Adam dressed up as a guy named Chad.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, it's so true. I mean, people do that where it's like, oh, this will be the perfect pet. And then they open up the box, they play with it for a little while. And it's like, oh, this dog is not getting along with our other dog and not getting along with the cats. Or,
and that's my fear. I don't
like
want to ruin it.
Yeah, no,
So
I
here's the
get
plan.
that.
This is the new plan. We are going to wrap up a dog neutral toy. So you can't get a dog bed because we don't know what size it is yet, but a dog neutral toy that will be the present they open, and then we all go in the next few days after Christmas and dog shop together.
I like that idea.
As a group, absolutely.
Yeah, that seems like the right way to do it.
Are you hearing the clicking?
Yeah, what is
Scott?
that sound? I'm hearing like a pop sound. It sounds like Wendy's phone's doing something weird. Are you on your phone? What are you on?
I'm not.
Oh, I don't know. It goes away sometimes. It's like you're poking something or something. I don't know.
But
what
when
it
you
is.
talk for a long period of time.
Touching something. And
Yeah,
it's
you're probably
making a noise,
touching
maybe?
something.
Quit touching anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just hands up in the air.
They're in the air.
Like you just don't care.
Yeah, like you just don't care. Raise the roof is what we're saying.
So tell me if it stops, then I'll know what it
It
was.
is definitely stopped now, whatever it was.
That's amazing.
What is it, like a little electric something you're touching? What is it?
No, it's just like a hairband thingy. I was just flipping.
Oh, well, there you go. It was making a sweet sound.
Sweet.
So no, you're fine. So I think this is the right way to do it. I actually really think that's good because then they also get to have a hand in the decision making, and that makes them more responsible. Like those are all. That's parenting tip number 1: shop for dogs with your kids after you give them a bone.
Christmas.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
if I can push it, maybe we'll start in April.
I'll tell you what bums me out.
That's really pushing it.
That is.
What really bums me out is your story about people bringing them back after. That sucks. Oh, it makes me so sad to hear that. I don't like that. Those dogs.
Well, and here's the thing. I get a new phone or a new computer, whatever the setting is. That's it for life.
Right.
So I know I'm gonna get a terrible dog, and that's for life. I'll never take it back. So I really need to be careful.
Right.
Because I will live with it, whatever it is. So I gotta be careful.
My wife this morning, I said to her, because I hadn't told her yet. I said, Kim, did you know Wendy's thinking about getting a dog for the kids for Christmas? And I go, she's been getting advice from people on the show and stuff like that. And I told her what we do and all that. And I said, what advice would you give her? She says, don't get one. I'm like, honey. She is such a curmudgeon about the current state of our doggery around here because
it's a ticking heartbreak time bomb. It's going to go off in 10 years.
Well, that's part of it. But part of it is, Nick has a dog now, but he doesn't really take care of her. We do. Everyone else does. So there's some resentment there. Rainer is a spaz, and I love her, but she drives Kim crazy. So there's a little bit of like that going on. So, even after all of this, you may have your snags, but the important thing will be the kids have a dog, and that's good. That's what matters.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, and Misha, when I talked to Misha, she just always had a horror story about her dog, needing to eat special places or pooping everywhere. And then I had a client the other day talk about how their old dog got sick and it's just diarrheaing everywhere. And I'm like, wait a minute, can I talk to a happy dog situation? Because it's just like, it's real, right? Like, yeah. I get it. But my window's closing. You don't get a dog at 19 and go, well, there you go. Yeah. You get it. They need one when they're 8. And
I agree.
8 is solid. Like, I got a solid 10 years of him enjoying a dog.
And it's a dog and it's a boy and his dog. And that's a great, it sounds like a stereotype, but it's true. You can it can be a really
Which is
cool
why
thing to
I
have.
can't get a one-eyed bulldog who's paralyzed and will be dead in 6 months. Like I can't be in charge of this.
The only other advice I would say I would have is it's don't be afraid of the mutts. The mutts tend to have they're more regular. They have less stomach problems.
Yeah.
They just have all the resiliences. Whereas you buy some overly bred dog, or you get some overly bred dog. Not that all of them shouldn't be saved. I mean, whatever. But if you get one that's like a one-eyed bulldog, he probably still has the hip problems bulldogs have. He probably a little incontinent when you least expect it. That sort of thing.
I just need a cute face that I want to pick up as poop. You know what I mean?
No,
like
those are your rules when you got married, right? You said, I just want a man who
cute face,
cute enough face,
poop I can pick up.
Whose poop I can pick up. Yeah, that's
one
solid
day I
poop.
might be changing his diaper. You don't know. So yeah, I don't know.
Carter's giving me more sideways
dog
glances.
Is Rainer, by the way?
She is a mix of a Italian, Min Pin and an Italian Greyhound. And that's why, so the Min Pin makes her smallish. She's very greyhoundy, though, in the way she looks and moves. I don't know where, I think Greyhounds are naturally sort of high energy, kind of nervous. I don't know actually which side she gets that from, but she is a nervous freaking dog. Plus, she was really mistreated before we got her.
Yeah.
And so, but she is, she's my favorite thing in the world. I just love her. I just want to cuddle with her every 5 minutes. I just want to hang out with her. I want to walk her. She's the best.
So what happens when she dies?
I'm going to be miserable. It's going to be awful.
What are we going to do, Brian?
Yeah.
We're going to have to intervene.
I'm going to, what? Therapy Thursday for a week. We're going to have to just do it.
Yeah, exactly. Just
every day.
Every day.
I'm not going to be able to deal with it. But
watch the 12 stages of grief right here live on TNS.
That's right.
Oh, 12.
Right now, she's still very young, very energetic. I'm not too worried, but
I guess it's a 12-step program. How many stages of grief are there?
Well, let's make it 12. Let's make it happen.
We'll do 12 for Scott because it will just cycle. It'll be a lot of cycling.
I got 2 denials in there probably. Yeah, denial it twice. I don't know what else I'd double up.
A lot
on.
of anger, a lot of bargaining.
Yep, all of that stuff. Well, all right, we're gonna get right to it today. Wendy's, of course, a therapy lady, otherwise known as the therapist. She helps people with real problems all the time, sits down with them, helps them through their issues, and she donates a little time every week, comes on here on Thursdays, and we do a little Therapy Thursday. Today, it's an email from a Canadian in Calgary, Alberta. Yeah, we love the Canadians. It says here, for some background, they have a question for for Therapy Thursdays. For some background, I grew up in a conservative Christian home with my mother, being a pastor for a while. My parents, I also feel, are pretty reasonable people and not super judgmental of other people's ways of life when it comes to gays or following other religions. That's something about that sentence is cracking me up. But anyway, I grew up in the church and was there a lot, as well as going to a Christian school. Around when I turned 18, I was already not going to church every week. I met my girlfriend, now wife, who came from a non-religious family around then as well. I came to realize through her and her family's perspective that Christianity wasn't for me. My parents love her and are supportive of us. My only concern is when we have children is that my mother will either push for them to go to church and other events. Oh, that's weird. It says either, but then there's no either. Anyway, it says, then my wife and I would personally like to raise them from a neutral worldview, and if they decide they eventually want to be in some sort of religion, it is for them to decide. I just want them to know maybe the best way to approach my parents, mostly mom, about not raising them in the church. I have a really good relationship with my mom, and she's very loving, giving, and a caring person. Thanks for reading all of this. Anonymous in Calgary. So, not that unusual of a story, right?
No, and I picked it because I wanted to keep with our theme of family conflict at Christmas.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Best time of year for that. It's a magical time of year. Yeah,
it really is.
So where do you go? Where do you start with this sort of thing?
Well, they don't have children yet.
Yeah,
and so it's like a future worry, which I get, right? Like you were raised by this person, and here's where the interesting contradiction is, and I think this is true of all of us, right? Is so she's really cool. I really love her. We have a good relationship. She's very caring, very loving, but I'm worried about this future event that will trigger potentially this thing because of this other thing, right?
Right.
It's anxiety in its like like common form, I would say, like anxiety in not in its, oh no, I'm going to die extreme version of that, or terrible things are going to happen. It's just kind of your basic one, which is I have a future concern about a thing that hasn't happened. And I can't predict what my mom will be like then, though I know how she is now and how we will be, blah, blah, blah. It's like prepping a little bit. Like, how do I deal with this thing that feels like it might be inevitable?
Chat room calls it low grade anxiety. Does that fit?
There we go.
Okay.
Low grade's great. Low grade's great. A great example. And it pops up here or there. Maybe mom says a thing and talks about someone else, how they're raising their kids, or whatever. So here's the thing about this Canadian situation is that really common. And then what happens when you actually have children? We get to see really what will happen, and you either might be surprised, or you might think, okay, see, I knew this is where this was headed, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like preemptively planning to be annoyed, or preemptively planning this, whatever. So he doesn't say anything here where she's controlling or she is, any of those things. So it's interesting. He has these concerns, but he's not giving us any data on how she might be awful
right.
in the end, right?
Right.
Okay, but go down to the core of what it really is. Let's say they do have some kids, and mom's always like, I'm taking them to church. I'm going to take them to this thing. We're going to do the da-ba-da-da. Let's say that's already happening. Well, kind of think of it in stages, like the pre-happening, the actual we have children and it's happening, and then, what do we do? So any guesses, guys, what I might say to this?
Oh, man.
I just had a moment of like, I think I've said this 1,000 times, have I not?
You may have. I mean, I think I can tell you what I do, and I think it's just based on having listened to you for so many years.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with exposing them to religion, just so they get an experience, an untainted. Well, I don't think there's any way to do it untainted, right? Because you're either going to have the mom's experience, which is, oh, religion is the thing, it has to, we have to do this, or the parents, which are like, no religion. Right. But I think you still want to expose them so that they're aware of it and they can make their own decision about if that's something that they want to do. We let Tristan go with his friends to church. Neither Tina nor I are religious, but Tristan had friends who were. He went to church. He says, yeah, it was not for me. And that's fine. But at least it wasn't like no, you'll never go to church. We forbid it. We put our foot down. Never going to happen.
To me, it's almost like it's just the reverse of saying, you not under my house will you get a tattoo or a pierced nose or whatever the thing is you want to do. And then you demonize it. And then the kid gets curious and finds another way to get it. It's kind of not that different. Like it may seem different because it's generally societally not thought of as a vice to go explore religion. Mm-hmm. But if you still demonize it, you kind of still cause your kid to want to, well, if my parents aren't going to be my guide, then I'm going to go find a guide somewhere else. Do you really want them to have someone else as their guide? Like, why don't you be their guide? Mm-hmm. And by right. guide, I don't mean you have to be, well, now is our stage of life, or we are the religious right. ones. Like, no, just right. like be honest with your kid, talk about it. If they mm-hmm. want to go with their friends, let them go. If they want to go with the mom, and he may really enjoy himself, or he may be bored, or that changes when they're teenagers. Like that's what I would think you would say is not to worry too much about it, because what he's described to me is a mother who doesn't seem like the stereotype of really putting the hammer down. Yeah. She sounds understanding and welcoming and open and willing to let people, like, it's a little more gospel of Blaine, not to keep bringing that up, but just sort of, let people live the way they want to live, and you live the best life you can, and what else are you going to do? Mm-hmm. And if she's already like that, then I don't know. I'm not actually sure why he's too worried.
Well, it makes me want to be a Canadian, because he says, my only concern is this future one. I'm like, that's pretty good to have your only concern be a made-up one in your head. Yeah. Because here's the thing that he maybe is, and this is true of most of our low-grade worries about a future event, is we're terrible predictors of that state we will be in at that moment, right? So we will minimize the resources accessible to us because we have we're not good at predicting them. But I'll predict one for him. He's got a great relationship with his mom. Sounds like he has a good marriage. Their kids will come in and the joy will be amazing and challenging and all those good things. And then you have a conversation with your mom about religion and raising your kids and how you'd like it to go.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll go, yeah, because I'm loving and caring and reasonable. And we'll just, but also I respect that you believe. And so how do we navigate this together? And then you'll just do it and you'll feel great.
Yeah.
But in this moment, and it might be, and let's get Freudian for 5 seconds, is that maybe the concern is like me and this dang dog. Let's get Freudian and make it about me. How about that?
Okay. I like it.
This idea of like, what are you actually more nervous about? You're nervous about how your mom's going to handle the religion thing, or is there just oh my gosh, I'm nervous to have kids.
Mm-hmm.
And here's one thing that feels potentially out of my control that my brain can go to as, oh yeah. Whereas I'm like, I want a one-eyed bulldog. And really what I'm worried about is it's -20 and I got to walk a damn dog every day.
It's not just the fact that it's a one-eyed bulldog. It's like, oh my God, dog.
Yeah. Right. And
Yeah.
it's suddenly, to me, it's another child. And I know what that means. I know what potty training is. And I know I don't want a child to die and I'm going to adopt one. Like, what am I doing? So my real fear, I can project it on Chad at the Humane Society and miss the whole point. And I think there's a bit maybe of that going here or not. It might not. He might be like, let's have babies tomorrow. It's great. It's fine. But it's possible there is a little like, ooh.
Well, I'm look, as somebody who experienced a lot of low grade, mid grade, and high grade anxiety when my first baby was coming, who is now 25 and has one of her own, but I was terrified. And here's one of the thoughts. I don't know if I've ever shared this with anybody. Here's one of the thoughts I had that day. My biggest fear wasn't something practical like I'm gonna drop her when I hold her, or the car seat won't work. Like those seem like normal low grade anxieties for people to have because they're actual practical things you can do to ensure those things don't happen. So you think about them. I was saying, what if she grows up to be a terrible person? I really said that to my wife. She looked at me like I was insane. But I really was thinking, like, when she's an adult, what if she's awful? What if we blow it so bad as parents that she's just a terrible human being when she's older and just treats people poorly and just is bad? Like, what if that happens? What a dumb thing to do. Why am I thinking about that? Like, there's nothing I can do about it for, 18 years until you even get to a point where they're technically, legally an adult. But like I'm just gonna say, oh, there's 20 years I just won't think about, and my big worry is just leaping ahead to where she's a terrible person. Like that was the weirdest anxiety, and I totally had it.
That explains it perfectly because it's something that's out of your control. And guess what? The car seat is in your control at least in time and space, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But this future version of something I can't control, that is the definition of anxiety.
Right.
Anxiety isn't logical in any way, but it's close enough that it's super real, right? So then when you get to that moment and she's a terrible person, well, you'll do some things to help her not be so terrible, or she'll never get terrible because if you're this conscientious of that character challenge down the road, you're probably going to raise her in a way that she's not going to be a terrible person.
Yeah, no, and I quit worrying about it by the time. Honestly, most of those worries went away the second she was born. That was another weird thing, is that I thought this was going to be like I had all these fears and fears and fears, and it was literally overtaking me mentally and physically. And then, boop, head popped out, and all of it went away. And I didn't really worry about that anymore. The things I started worrying about were more practical, like, oh,
am I going to pay for this?
Even if you jump ahead and say she's 16 and is on her first date. Those are practical worries, like what time is she going to be home? All right, you have my number, right? Okay, you call me if there's any problems or if whatever. Like I had some say or some control in a more practical way, and those became the worries, and those are normal, not worries, but normal things that you would think about. And I stopped worrying about, is future Taylor going to be a tyrant Hitler type? Like, what was wrong with me? Like that was such a weird thing to think about your unborn baby, but.
Right. It's because you have a very large imagination, and the more imagination tends to make anxiety at least more creative and elaborate and
Oh, tell me about it. Yeah.
yeah, it's like a curse and a gift. But so go back to this guy for a second. You know, this idea that there's people out in the world, including your sweet mother, who can hijack the direction of your child's life is a fear of parents, right? Like your kid's gonna smoke the ganja and turn into a I don't know, whatever, or they're gonna, like they're gonna join a cult. I mean, there's so many things we can think about that are just that out of control thing. This is why parenting is challenging. It's this human comes into your life and you're in charge of it, and you're gonna screw a lot of things up. And it's daunting. I feel like we need to have an island where parents can go take a break. Anyway, I have lots of ideas of how to make parenting easier, but they're not feasible at all. But it's tough. And that's why one thing is so frustrating to me. And the older I get, the more angry it makes me is how people treat other parents. It's like, I know I've said this before, America's national pastime to judge each other's parenting, but it's so damaging. And it's the way it spreads is really problematic, right? Because if, everyone is looking at you like you're the worst because your kid's costume isn't homemade or something, right? Then suddenly we have all the wrong motives, right? Or if there's a kid crying in a store at an age appropriate time, because when you're 2, you shouldn't be in the store and be happy. That's a thing. And so we can just, I don't know, we can be pretty awful to each other. And I think this adds to this, I don't know, this whole fear we all have of we're going to do everything wrong. I mean, parents in the 70s, they didn't have to worry about it. No one cared. No one was noticing how they were parenting.
Yeah. Well, you didn't have the scrutiny. You didn't have, technology that connected everybody constantly and everybody being in constant touch with each other. And, I basically can GPS my kids these days if I need to. Find out right where they are if I need to. Pinpoint them within a block's radius. I feel like a freaking spy or something.
Right. But take that for a second. You wonder why we all are so anxious. Like the fact that you can know immediately, like our brother who has 35-year-old children was watching his door cam to see if his kid came home.
Yes. By the way, that's 30 children that are 35, not 35-year-old children.
Oh, sorry. 30. Yeah, can you imagine?
That's a lot of 5-year-olds.
Yeah, that's a lot of 5-year-olds. That's herding cats. Yep. Anyway.
But I know that's not how he raised them because it didn't exist. But it's because it feeds on this part of us that are afraid of things we can't control. And if they're too big and too out there, it can really be paralyzing. But it also can affect what we do, right? So here's this guy. He's saying, I'm concerned about this future thing. Just a basic one-step homework idea. By the way, I did my homework. One-step homework idea is to call his mom today and just say, hey, you're the best, Mom. I love you. You're fantastic. I can't wait to see you as a grandma.
Yeah.
Speaking of, can we have a chat about how we might handle religion? And I get it. That's a big conversation. But start it now and see if she says the right things and you feel better about it. If your brain goes, okay, now I'm going to worry about this other thing, that maybe we're just having a generalized anxiety issue around having kids or something versus, wow, I'm really, really focused on this religious thing and I'm worried about my mom. But, talk to her now. Because if you talk now, and let's say you got your wife pregnant tonight, you got 5 years before this matters.
Yeah.
Right? But you can have, that was really weird to say that. But that idea of like, make it closer to you, do something that is within your realm of time and space and control that alleviates this feeling. And that requires a little effort. Most of us just like to push it aside and go do something else and forget about it. And then it rears its head. And then suddenly, if anyone's experienced this, you're overwhelmed with all of the emotional stuff you've never taken care of. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen here, but that idea of like, we just don't take care of our fears. We don't take care of things we actually do have power over. We tend to sort of shove it aside, and then it grows and it's a bigger thing than it needs to be. So that would be my recommendation. Canada, is to go just call your mom now.
Yeah, it's a little bit of Band-Aid ripping.
Talk about it.
It's a little bit of rip the Band-Aid off, but it's not like you're having to deal with a mountain of opposition from her already. She sounds like she's already in a place where she'd be open to this conversation, to me.
Right.
From his brief description.
Already, already she's like, she loves your wife. You guys aren't Christian. She's fine.
Yeah, and you know what? This is my favorite kind of religious person. Somebody who is
accepting.
Yeah, and stop spending time judging other people verbally or otherwise about what they're doing or what they're not doing, and they just kind of focus inward and do what they do. And that's great, man. Like, more of that, please. Could we have more of that, actually, from mainstream evangelical side of things? Could you guys knock it off?
Mother.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, but I wish it would. That'd be nice.
Right. And so some of it might be even to him just sort of analyzing his own experience and childhood feelings about certain things. It may just be that there's some unresolved stuff left over that could, you just clear that out a little bit. And maybe it's not you don't do that with your mother, but you just have some of those conversations with your spouse or friends, and you're just sort of dealing with anything that might be left over there, because your perception, your experience isn't, it matters, and it absolutely plays a role in how we see certain things, right? What we've been through and how people have treated us in the past.
Right. Yeah, I think he's got a good chance here. I would do exactly what Wendy says. The advice might be different if you had to approach it more gently and walk on eggshells or something.
Exactly. If there were more feelings involved, but I'd say don't worry about it until you need to worry about it.
Yeah. You'll have an easier time talking to your mom about this religion thing than I will have talking to my mom about what rolls I forgot to bring to the Christmas party. So, like, for real, like you really are it sounds like you're in a better position for all of this, and you already have the support. So now it's just a matter of verbalize it, get it out there. Also, talking about stuff, which I guess is Wendy's whole thing, but, talking about this stuff openly with people just breaks down so many barriers, both real and perceived, imagined, that you just get a lot further down the road. So take
True. And I also think there's, I was kind of prepared to go a different direction with this, actually, but as I reread the email, I was like, oh yeah, he's got all sorts of things already in place that are amazing. So let's just imagine mom's less amenable. The one thing I would say about that is in the conversation you have with your loved one who's less amenable, is you try to sort of hone in on what it is they actually really need or want. What is happening for them? Because it's clear to us what's happening for us.
Yeah.
We're offended. We're hurt. You put me in a box. You're trying to tell me what to do, whatever. So yeah, be clear what's happening to you. And then, a little curious about what's happening to them, because, you go in saying, here's how I want you to grandparent my child because I don't want to even hear what you have to say, means everyone's just defensive and angry, right? But finding out like, hey, mom, when we have kids, and that might even be a sort of semi-neutral way to start the conversation. When we have kids, how do you think you're going to handle sugar? And you start with that.
Yeah.
Are you going to spoil? And my kids already know it will be nothing but me pouring pixie stick dust down their kids' throats.
Of course, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you need a good balance. You got to counter the balance of whatever dental work they're having done and cleanings and prevention.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And so that's going to happen. And then, so maybe you start with the, like, how are you going to deal with that? And also like, hey, we've been talking about religion. It's tricky and, and we appreciate your support and all of that. And we're just wondering, how do we do the grandkid thing with that? What does it matter to you? And you get a sense that there are definitely grandmothers out there that make everything about them and their requirements, and you follow my whatever. And then there's grandparents who are like, that's supportive. I'm so proud of you for parenting your kids, and let me help, or I'll get out of your way. And so who is it? Who is your mom? Figure it out.
Yeah.
It sounds like she's the cool one, but
yeah, she seems like a rad mom. She seems like she's a rare breed. You want to have breed doesn't sound nice, but you know what I mean.
Breeding mothers.
Breeding mothers.
Never get a full bred mother.
No.
Hip problem.
So
Yeah.
They got hip problems and they pee everywhere.
They pee everywhere. It's definitely
Oh my gosh. All right. Good stuff. We look forward to more of this sort of stuff in the future. Here's the big question, though. I know you're working on a cool project. How much of that do you want to announce today? Do you have
yes,
okay.
I will. I'm not going to announce the whole thing, but I'm going to tease it a little bit because we're not exactly sure how to do it, but I need Frog Pants people to help me. Okay, so a good friend of mine here is a nutritionist, and she's also an athlete and health person. And so she's been working, she works a lot with folks who have eating disorders of all sorts. But kind of her main group at this point are binge eating and overeating kinds of eating disorders. And so we've been talking about just how frustrating the entire diet culture is, and just the world of all of it, and just sort of what do people really need. And people just need to learn how to feel good in their bodies and not try to change their bodies, not hate their bodies, stop all that stuff. And so we were talking about her role, my role, what would that look like to help someone? So we're going to start working with some clients here on some things. Anyway, but we had this thought.
Okay.
What if we solicit a volunteer of sorts? Maybe we do it a drawing or some kind of winner. I don't know. We figure it out, but we take one person who is not happy with how they're feeling. And we do a couple things. So she would do all the nutrition counseling, which is quite extensive, actually.
Yeah, nutritionists
her philosophy,
that stuff's crazy how deep
it is. But her philosophy is so great. It is, it's the right one. No food is bad. It's not low carb. It's not all the gimmicks. It's not the stuff that actually makes everyone fatter, but really the focus is feeling good. And then I do therapy as part of that. And then we have a doctor, and we have a physical therapist, and we have a personal trainer. We have lots of people who are sort of going to work on the team. Anyway, so we're trying to think of how do we we need someone to be our guinea pig, and it would require some blood being drawn. So if you have a fear of needles, don't sign up for this.
How do they do all this remotely? If let's say you found somebody in Wyoming, how would you deal with that?
So someone in Wyoming would Skype all their stuff with each of the providers for whatever they're doing, and then they would just need to go to their doctor's office and ask for a certain blood test to be done. Mm-hmm. And you can do that. You can always go anywhere, ask a lab to do it. So that's probably the only cost that would be a part of it. But anyway, we're trying to figure it out. And so maybe be thinking, and here's the cool part. We're not starting in January 1st because that's when everyone starts to try to whatever. And then everyone's quit by like February 2nd. So we wouldn't start till February.
Yeah.
And then we will go from there. But anyway, so I'll have more information and make it a lot more clear what we're going to do. But if anyone's listening that's like, I would like to do this, yes.
That's cool.
That's a really cool idea. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And it's like 4 weeks. It's like make some new habits, feel good. And like the whole point, so you will not be allowed to get on a scale. You will not measure anything. It's just very much like, let's make sure you have enough vitamin D. Let's make sure you're, eating well and you're feeling good. And, and then I take care of all your childhood trauma. So you stop eating your feelings, so there's like it's a nice balance anyway.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be cool. And if you're local to Minnesota, even better, we can like draw your blood here. Anyway, so if you are interested in this, don't do anything quite yet. I will let you know and we'll figure out a way. But
I was just putting some of my blood in an envelope. And
oh, Christ.
Yeah.
That sounds really good
Yeah.
to not do.
Yeah.
Don't do that, please. Don't do
that. I am 100% sure I'm going to get a bunch of emails about this, so I'll keep those somewhere, and we'll also,
Actually, if anyone sends messages to me or Scott, we'll just kind of keep a pile and let you know. But I'll announce it again, and we'll figure out how to do it. And one thing I really need you to be, a good feedback giver, because we really want to know kind of what works and what doesn't work, what you like and don't like. And you have to be brave enough to say, Wendy, your therapy was absolute garbage, did not help me.
Right.
And so I need whoever you are, you're going to be communicative. So
full disclosure type responses.
Yeah.
And Which is,
Yeah, I mean, don't be mean. I don't want a meanie, but like,
Don't make
I'm
up
not
stuff
taking
just so you can provide feedback.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
provide
Yeah.
decent feedback.
yeah.
Wendy, episode 348 was so bad. I'm like, that's not what we're here for.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that would be good.
All right, that's awesome. Therapythursdays.com has a contact link. You can also send stuff to Wendy at therapythursdays.com, an email address, or you can send me emails here at themorningstream@gmail.com. One way or the other, we'll hang on to you as Wendy has more information. But it sounds really cool. I think that there's got to be somebody who wants to do this. So
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. And then real quick, I did my homework. I never have done homework from you guys.
Oh,
So
I
did it.
didn't do my homework. Do I get a failing grade because I forgot to watch that thing? I totally
You
spaced
haven't seen it?
No, I spaced it. I was supposed to watch it same as you this last week, and I didn't.
Okay, well then we can't even discuss it.
Okay,
This
so
is-
here's what we do. I this is my bad. I totally admit it. I screwed up. I had time to watch Get Out for some reason, but I didn't watch this thing, so it's my fault. So I'm gonna.
We can talk about Get Out. That's an amazing movie.
I know, it's really good. I loved it. It took me forever to see it. It's mostly because Dylan's been bugging me to see it. But anyway, I will watch it. And what we'll do, since we're not going to have Therapy Thursday until the new year, that gives me plenty of time to squeeze this in. So I'm going to watch it. Just hold on to your thoughts and your ideas about that. And we'll resurface this. I just completely forgot about it.
In the meantime, I'll make a list of the things that I like about Scott, and we'll read our list together.
That's so nice. I like that, Brian.
Great idea. Great idea.
All right. Wendy, have a great and wonderful week. Have a great Christmas. I hope this dog bone thing works and everything's great, because it will be.
I will. I promise I'll send everyone can see a picture.
Oh, totally want to see the picture, whatever you end up with.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is, hopefully has both eyes. I don't know. We'll see.
And all.
Nothing wrong with a one-eyed dog.
Yeah.
I know there's not, but I just can't be in charge. That's all I'm saying. It's going to be fun.
I get
right?
it. Yeah, it'll be fun. It's the fun you want to focus on. And the goofs are no big. It's like your own kids. You think, they're going to poo and barf. But once you have them, you love them so much it doesn't matter. They pooped once. Oh, it's okay. That's how I feel about the dogs. If they poop once on the floor, it's fine. You'll train them. They'll be good. This one-eyed dog's probably already potty trained for all you know.
He's dealt with all of his pooping issues. I should have brought this up earlier, but we adopted a 10-year-old cat that was all scruffy and had patches of hair missing because we knew nobody else would adopt him. And as soon as we went to the place to get him, he crawled into my lap and went to sleep. It's like, all right, he's ours.
Oh, see, I needed that so bad.
We gave him the best last few years of his life. He was the most loving, sweetest cat. Like as soon as he saw your lap was available, he hopped up there and went to sleep.
See, that's amazing. You're going to find something like that. One-eyed, and then you get to name him. That's a fun process. The kids
you don't name an old dog. You keep
Yeah, no, they've already got a name. Cool. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Okay, you're 10 years old and you're like, okay, your name is not Scott anymore. It's Jimmy. I mean, no, that's mean.
Carter almost had changed her name. She almost became Daisy for a while. Do you remember that? She's sitting over here. Yeah, she was for a hot minute. She wanted to be called Daisy, and so we all complied. And then she changed her mind like a week later. So
I changed mine to Jessica for a whole school year in second grade.
Really, you did?
When we were at the Dumb Friends League getting Inara, there was another cat there named Laser Pew Pew. And we wanted to get that cat just because his name was Laser Pew Pew.
Totally. I saw a serious black dog that looked just like the dog in the movie, and I was like, I'm getting that. And then I'm like, no, you can't make decisions based on the dog's other name.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true.
Right.
All right. Well, best of luck.
Hey,
and
Canadian, get your mom to pray for me so I don't make a mistake.
Yes. Get some Canadian prayers showering down here. Thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers. All right, Wendy, have a good one. We'll talk to you soon. And Merry Christmas. Bye. All right. All right. I'm
very good.
Be talking to her soon enough. I think she's calling in. We're going to do a big Skype thing on Christmas Day or something.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. We used to do that when they were in Sweden. It was a little more special because they were out of the country, but now that they're just
this is just family thing. This isn't like your live streaming family therapy. Right?
Yeah.
Like
yeah, there you go. Yeah. No, it's to I'll go ahead publicly. I'll say it's just to say hi and hope you guys are having a good Christmas, but privately we're in a 12-step program. We're trying to work our stuff out.
Sure, exactly. Now is the time for the airing of the grievances.
So check this out. We have a year-end mashup. We're not playing it yet because I want to save it till right toward the end of the year.
Cool.
But I just wanted to thank Jamie in advance. I haven't heard it. I don't know what it's about, but it's really the whole year summed up in like 4 minutes. And I'm super excited to hear what that sounds like. So we're going to find out soon enough. Also, here's the word of the day. Hold on. It's not playing. That's fantastic. All right, let me try that again.
Pseudo-hypoparathyroidism.
There you go.
Pseudo-hyperparathyroidism. Wow.
Yeah, which seems like it's not
it's
pseudo
so good
at
it
all.
gets two pseudos.
Wouldn't it be pseudo? That means it's
That's
real.
That's how you access root level of pseudo-hyperthyroid.
That was good. That was good.
Thanks.
All right. Well, it's easier to say.
Haggard.
Haggard is easier. All right.
Haggard.
We're going to take our leave. Before we do, a quick email from Bernie Walter who wrote in and says, on Thursday, this is last week, you were discussing division at the dinner table for the holidays. I like Scots because that's what I do well. I have borderline racist brother-in-law that always gets going after a few beers. At that point, I say, quote, gotta check on the kids, unquote, and leave the room. I think that's the best way to handle that situation, is to find a way to keep your emotions in check. The worst case scenario of this is my life, where the relatives that refused to come to my wedding because of my wife, who used to be Catholic, was getting married in a Lutheran church. Boy, those Catholics and Lutherans, man.
Yeah, like cats and dogs.
Yep. I thought that was very petty and spoke volumes about the relatives. They couldn't set their beliefs aside for one afternoon and be happy for the niece. It's always challenging when it's family. Love the show, Bernie. Yeah, I am totally with Bernie on this. If you can, just get up and walk away from it. And it says a lot when you do it, you know? You don't have to say it. If you go, all right, now I got to go in the other room. That says everything to the person who's being horrible.
Yeah, it does.
Without having to say anything about it.
And if it
they
doesn't,
know.
well, they're ignorant.
Then they're
even more ignorant than you thought.
Then they're really stupid if they don't get it.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
exactly.
I'm with you there, Bernie. If you'd like to send your own feedback to the show, you can do so at themorningstream@gmail.com. For all else, go to frogpants.com/TMS. And if you're in the giving mood and you want to support your favorite morning show podcast, head on over to patreon.com/TMS. That's patreon.com/TMS. All right, we should play a song to leave today. What do you have today?
That's right. Now is the time for your generosity to Patreon.
That's right.
Hey, we got a birthday to celebrate. He says, hello, Frog Ponce blokes.
Wow.
I'm reading it as he wrote it. December 19th, a day long remembered, is that which would change my life way before I'd ever could foresee. I'm reading it verbatim. On that day in the year of our Sith Lord, 1900 and blah diddy blah blah blah, the Mrs., a.k.a. Amber, a.k.a. Darth Ambrosius, a.k.a. Miss Darth Marcus, jumped out of a womb and declared she is here. Let the world be conquered. Let the galaxy bow down.
Wow.
Later in life, little did she or I know that the kid would also choose to jump out a womb on December 18th and declare this world and the galaxy conquered. December is a dark, dark month within our household, as it is the month two Sithiest of Siths came into the galaxy. What's that rule? Always there are no more. Always two there are, no more, no less.
Yeah.
Anyway, as in as short as I can put it, many happy returns, Siths. Thank you for making my life a dark, dark, dark one. The force is strong in my family. Signed, Darth Marcus. Well, big happy birthday to Amber.
Also, he just cut his hair, and it freaked me out.
Oh, really?
Because you know how long and glorious that dude's hair is.
Yeah.
Beautiful, just
is there
flowing.
photos of this on probably on Twitter, right?
Yeah, Instagram or something. I can't remember where I saw it, but man, that threw me, dude. I was like, whoa.
Holy cow.
I mean, you got to do it once in a while. I get it, but that was some haircut. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Wow.
Continue.
All right. So he suggested any covers of the Rolling Stones' Sympathy for the Devil, 19th Nervous Breakdown, Mother's Little Helper, or anything that the Rolling Stones covered that I consider say-tan-ick or sick. We're going with the first choice here because there's a fantastic Slovenian band, industrial band, known as Laibach. And I'm sure you've heard of Laibach. They are great and weird and heavy and awesome. They did an entire cover album of the Beatles' Let It Be in Eastern European industrial, and it's the most gorgeous thing. Apparently last year, and I didn't know this until I went looking for today's song, they did a cover of the Sound of Music soundtrack last year. And I listened to the first half of it this morning, and I'm already in love with it.
Wow.
It's great.
Nice.
They put out an EP in 1988. There was nothing but 7 different renditions of Sympathy for the Devil. We're going to play the regular version, but it is 7.5 minutes long, almost 8 minutes long. That said, it is spectacular and a thing to behold. Here is Leibach and Sympathy for the Devil.
See you guys tomorrow for TMSPM, 3:30 Mountain Time. Be there. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
Go on.
Do you know who that is? Here's see if you can guess who that is. I'll play it again. Ready? Here you go.
Go on.
Do you know who that is?
Go on.
Go on.
He's a famous actor.
know.
I'll give you that. Famous actor from a very popular television show. A couple of them. I'll do it again.
Go on.
Is that Bryan Cranston?
Nope. Although I can hear it now that you say that, but no.
Go on.
It sounds old school, like is it Picard? Is it
Nope, not Picard.
Okay, that's what people are saying. Somebody's in Crimson Neon says Frasier. Is that Kelsey Grammer?
That is correct. That is Kelsey Grammer
very good.
and it's him on
Go on.
The Simpsons playing Sideshow Bob.
Oh, sure.
And it cracked me up, so I kept it.
Go on.
Anyway,
you're gonna get. There isn't a lot to capture from Christmas Evil audio wise, but what there is pretty damn good.
Oh, good. That's right. You've seen it already.
We watched it a couple nights